I know what I said. No one could just watch from the sidelines. There could be no bystanders. And yet, still wanted to escape from the war. From Babel, from W, and from Her Majesty. So I ran. What a hypocrite. Do I regret it? Maybe. But even if I stayed there, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish anything.
5:58 AM, light drizzle. Northernmost outskirts of Castle, mercenary camp at the edge of the war zone. A few months after leaving Babel.
The Centel.
Come on, say something. You're normally pretty glib.
What's there to talk about?
Why are you throwing a question back at me? This deadlock has been dragging on for ages. Do you think the scales will tip overnight? What the hell happened these last 6 months? Aren't things moving way too quickly?
We all know something went wrong, but as to exactly where, nobody knows. I guess I shouldn't say nobody. Her Majesty and the people around her. It never should have happened to them. That's what we all think.
But right now, what about us? Will the same thing happen to us?
Too soon. This war ended too quickly. Up until last month we were still working our contract with Babel. Then they went quiet. We stopped getting any news. Everyone knew which side we were on, and it's not like we were even ready to leave. If that's really the end of things, we have nowhere to run. Tell the messenger to start pulling contracts and see what intel we can dig up. Maybe we'll have to return to the real battlefield.
I also figured that day was coming. We all knew it deep down, didn't we? If we really wanted to wash our hands of the whole thing, we wouldn't have agreed to work with them in the first place. We could have left it our own, crossed Lake Valendon, and made a killing somewhere else.
Ines,
Stop. It'd be even harder for us to pull out of there. Too easy to get lost in that warmth. We'd get drunk on it.
Maybe we should just abandon Babel and take our people away.
You still have that same old problem. You're getting sentimental again.
I can't tell you how long, but it feels like it's been ages since I've made a good decision that actually helped us. Maybe we really don't belong on the battlefield anymore.
Enough of that. Which one of us is a Sarkaz here? Is there a single other place on Terra, like even a wooden shed over our heads, that can handle a bunch of blood-stained Sarkaz? Don't always blame yourself. We all share that burden. Also, looking back, I can say that you made the right decision to take in W. She made a lot of money for us, and off to a lot of people.
Hope so. W. Is she still alive?
I don't think she'd die so easily.
She spent a decent amount of time with Her Majesty as well. Who knows? Maybe she learned a thing or two. We need to get a quick grasp of the situation in Wiš'adel right now. If we can find her, things might get a little easier.
Do we really need her to back us up? Fine. What a damn shame.
There you are. You sure know how to run.
You look dead inside. I heard what you've been up to lately, W.
Then you should also know that you are the last one.
You're right. As you can see, a lot of people died in this battle. All you're doing at this point is running up the score. The way I see things, anyone who isn't dead yet has done a lot more than you ever have.
Shut up.
Do you need another reminder? Theresa is dead. All of Wiš'adel, all of Terra will know that Wiš'adel has a new king. But that was just a decapitation strike. A lot of your cooperations are still alive. Like that commander of yours who never showed up again. They made the right call. His Majesty didn't completely annihilate you because he wants to put a stop to the chaos. Wiš'adel needs him to pave a new path forward. But what about you? Who are you to lecture anyone about right or wrong? Of course you won't say it. But I know what you're thinking. And while you're thinking, you're trying to erase all those faces from your memory. One by one. After all, you're just here to vent. Just a petty little mercenary drowning her worthless revenge. You can't beat anyone.
I can definitely beat you pretty easily too.
Killing me doesn't prove anything.
All you do is run your mouth. Are you trying to read my mind, or just getting some last word out before you die?
A bit of both. I won't deny it. Ever since that, since I almost choked on the blood of my friends, I haven't been able to hold a weapon. We've all bled, sprouted across Babel's palace. What you've seen, I've seen so much more. But since you found me, I guess my fate is sealed. I know.
Save your breath. To be honest, I just kinda wanna kill you. Call it a little relief from the stress of unemployment.
I really underestimated you, psycho. Can you really pull that trigger without any anger behind it? Or are you just so far gone that you don't even feel anything? You're alone now. How many of our people do you plan to hunt down? Don't you realize? You're not even thinking about Her Majesty Theresa? You're helping him silence us and...
When you said it already, I thought you wanted to die. If you ran back to your little region, do you really think I could butcher my way through Castle and drag all of you out one by one? But you won't. None of you will. When you people killed her, you knew that you'd never be able to return to Castle again. You will never go back to the way things were before. Nobody who actually saw that she looked like would ever be able to keep cool, except for those real monsters. So, you're all waiting for one special person. Me, your executioner. I'm here to finally set you free. And I'm doing it for free too. How great is that?
Self-righteous lunatic. But what you said is true. We stained our hands with her blood. But even then,
You never should call that man His Majesty. Theresa is the only one who gets that title. You might live to speak a few more words. I hope the usurper isn't rushing to get fitted for a crown. I mean, he'll be losing his head in a minute here. It'd be such a waste. Just wait till Theresa... Theresa.
If you don't surrender, you'll get other mercs on you. Next time you'll be the prey.
Well, look who it is! I thought you two left Castle ages ago. Long time no see.
Compared to how long this war has been going on, it was a weekend getaway. But I can't believe how you've grown.
I spooked you? Your hands are shaking.
Just a little rusty.
Our intel did say that you'd be alone here, but we're almost 200 kilometers out from Taba. What do you plan to do with that rickety corpse of yours? Or have you been dragging yourself around like this for months, all alone?
It wasn't that hard, but I guess there is a lot of stuff that's a pain in the ass to do by myself.
Like if you're rushing to patch yourself up, you could suddenly find your infection getting a lot worse?
It's whatever, as long as I don't die, and I don't die easy. But that tower looks familiar. Where are we?
Here, we're on the western battle zone. The coordinates are... Oh, right. This is where W died. And where you joined us.
This place has been blasted into ruins. What, were you feeling nostalgic?
Do I look like the nostalgic type? My last target just happened to run over here. I know you two came for a reason. Just like last time. Let's cut to the chase.
The Regent has united all of Kasdal's armed forces. The remaining mercenaries will also be united to form a real standing army, to be sent all throughout Terra.
What a busybody.
It's understandable. Unless the big shots and Victorian Lateran are useless pieces of shit with butter for brains, nobody's just going to sit back and let Kasdal rebuild after reunification.
Maybe we can borrow a few of the folks here and stir up some unrest again.
Bad idea, even if you're trying to get revenge.
Don't forget how many of our people with us now fought side by side with Theresa.
Sarkaz mercenaries like us never really had a dog in the fight. Most people don't like thinking. They just need someone to give them orders. But if all the Sarkaz will listen to the Regent, then he's won.
Ines, did it hurt when you carved your horns to look all Sarkazi? Did they bleed?
No.
Then your little disguise isn't even a skin deep. Keep playing the Sarkaz and you're gonna get yourself killed.
Thanks for the concern. I can hardly contain my bile.
I'm just not in the mood to hear you calling yourself a Sarkaz right now.
I decided to go down this path, and it's the only one I can follow at this point.
W. Since Her Majesty Theresa disappeared, Kasdal has changed a lot. Completely turned on its head. Most Sarkaz don't have a choice. Not to mention, it's also a tempting proposition for many others.
So let me guess. Because you didn't have time to make it out, you accept the murderer's proposal?
We'd be a bunch of icy stiffs if we didn't.
Looks like I'm not gonna be able to change your mind. I'm not as cruel as you used to be. Why don't we let our swords do the talking? For old time's sake.
Slow up a minute. You might be interested in what I have to say next. We're not going back to Wiš'adel. We're headed to Ursus.
Now that's a surprise. You should have said that earlier. I was this close to killing you. But you got my attention. The stack, Captain Hoederer.
Just outside Wiš'adel, there are some infected uprisings. They're paying top dollar for mercs, and the regent is looking to manipulate some of the infected for his own goals.
The power of the infected.
But most of their forces are still up in the frozen land of Ursus, and the regent is not interested in the dilapidated, vacant throne of Wiš'adel anymore. He's got his eye on someplace else. The so-called reunion movement is gathering the oppressed and downtrodden of all races. It's a fine piece to put in play for the next required step.
So nobody would get suspicious if we joined this reunion movement and left Castle far, far behind. And then what?
We'll take things one step at a time, W. You already know what I want, and I also might know what you want.
You are right, that does seem like a better move. Huh, I am after a real monster here after all. And the old woman disappears too. Maybe there really is no more reason to stay in Castle. But I'm not letting you to run this out this time. There's things I want to do. Choices I want to make for myself. That's cool with you?
The regent will send someone to muster the mercenary army. If it's just between our little group here, that's fine. We'll help you.
Don't worry. I've always been good at coping with my boss.
Alright then. Welcome back, W. Getting away from Wiš'adel, huh? W has changed a lot. She should have her own ideas now. I pushed Ines down this path too, but she's stronger than I expected. As for me, occasionally, if you climb up somewhere high and look down, you can see the plumes of smoke rising from Wiš'adel. Wiš'adel. Maybe I'm the one who wants to escape from this place the most. What happened to Babel? Any Sarkaz in contact with Her Majesty Theresa at the time would have asked this question. W definitely saw the truth, but she said nothing during the long journey. I didn't ask, and neither did Ines, but I think she's closer to the truth than I am. Before I knew it, I found myself trailing behind everyone else. Of course. Yes, it will be fine. I'll keep contact with the other teams. By your command. Guys, looks like we'll be stationed here for a while.
What happened?
The scouts spotted a catastrophe brewing with no catastrophe messengers nearby. We should stay as far away as possible, just in case. We can't risk it, no matter what.
A catastrophe, huh?
It's rare to see one raging in the wilderness, but we have plenty of experience dealing with Originium and Wiš'adel, so no need to panic. Where's W?
She's with her team. Need her for something?
I am not sure. She's changed a lot.
Do you think her personality would change that much just because Theresa is gone?
She's too calm. It's unlike her. When we found her on the battlefield earlier, she still had that cynical, sarcastic expression.
If anything, she's only gotten worse. That's odd. I never thought you'd be perceptive enough to pick up on these subtle warning signs.
Save the jabs. If W is being quiet, that warning sign's far from subtle.
she... Oh. Look, the clouds are converging on the other side of the mountain, and the air pressure has changed drastically. Is that a catastrophe cloud?
Might not be safe to station here given the size of that thing. Notify all our forces to retreat 50 kilometers along our original route. Find W and make it quick.
I don't take orders from you. You know, the feeling W gives off now is just like that thing. W! What are you doing? The wind is so strong here.
I'm enjoying the catastrophe. What else?
Are you insane?
What do you say? I can hear you.
Forgot you were always a lunatic. Look at the Sarkaz on your team killed with you.
I already told him to evacuate with Hoederer. I'm not stupid.
W, I'm telling you, be careful. Damn it.
You are the one who should stay back. You're not gonna make it if you fall down there.
You think you will? You don't want to die? Get your ass back here.
What the hell are you two doing?
Ask her.
She insists on clinging to me.
Fortunately, we didn't lose anyone from W's team. Otherwise, we'd get court-martialed long before we get to join the reunion. Let's all head back and rest first. Then, wait for the news.
What's wrong with fighting during a catastrophe? Are you afraid of a storm? Or of homeopathy?
I'd just rather not die an early death.
Let's get ourselves ready. It will be a real special experience.
Ines.
What? I'm not upset. It's not like we're a couple of honorary kids you have to break apart. I can say, W did a good job taking care of her team.
Rare to hear you say that.
Say what? I have no idea if she's just a lunatic or if she's... God damn it. She's no damn storm cloud, she is the catastrophe.
Сука, блять. Bloody hell.
You're in a good mood.
Of course! There's some news. But you don't get to hear it until we are out of this trash heap of a country.
That can be why you set a rendezvous point right under the catastrophe, right? Are you trying to get me killed?
Hey, don't push it that way. Do you know what the biggest perk of being a lunatic is?
I'm not sure I want to know. But I already have a pretty good idea just from following you, boss.
That's right. It's this. The crazier shit you do, the less others question you. The Rhodes Island already left Castle, right?
To be specific, we don't have any reports of a landship that big getting taken in by Theresa's.
Good enough. So we do have a lead after all.
We have more and more fresh faces on the team. But I feel better knowing that I left Wiš'adel. Among those traveling with me are both friends and enemies. But it's always been volatile like that. Mercenaries don't care too much about the past because for Archine, life and death are easy come, easy go. Maybe, because the war ended too quickly, we immediately plunged first into the next battle without ever tasting a moment of peace. This kind of hope could just become another poison. Since the beginning, we've always needed war and conflict to ease this balance. W is the best example of this. She's long become drunk on it.
Welcome, warriors from afar.
War has never been something that can be avoided. I always known that, of course, but at that moment, I truly realized it. War has permeated every corner of this world. It always has, ever since the first sentient thing was born, and we will become mired in it again.